Hi, fellow kids. It's me, your old new pal, Rando. I almost gave you my real name, but I'm smarter than that. Alright, I went to the old Goodwill today. I lit some Neil Young there, don't mind that. You probably can't hear it anyway. This microphone sucks. Okay, went to the Goodwill, and I'm like, what could possibly be there? Turns out not much. Not too much. But I got this National Geographic. Every issue up until the year 2008. They're on 6 CDs. And I looked at the CDs, they're pretty clean. So there's all these issues of National Geographic on these CDs. This thing was like $4. Not too expensive. Anyway, I wouldn't have got it if it wasn't $4. And I figure you may, at some point, you might need to see some naked chicks in the sub-Saharan continent or wherever they are. Out there carrying the big things on their head and just flop, flop, flop. Yep. Them's the way we used to learn. In the old days. The only way to really find a good porno mag was randomly walking in the woods. Because some magical person would leave the porn for us young boys to find. That, my friends, is the legend of Johnny Pornoseed. At the Goodwill, I found they had some more record albums come in, but nothing great. A couple I thought would be interesting to have. Let's see, there's this Paul Anka album, Listen to Your Heart. And I'm not sure what year this is from because, again, I need a flashlight to know all this stuff. And I didn't recognize the songs on here. So this was either immediately before or after his 70s comeback. But it doesn't have I Don't Like to Sleep Alone. It doesn't have Times of Your Life. So it was at some point in there where he's all dressed up in black. $1.99, which I thought was a lot to pay, but for some reason I felt rich, I felt powerful and generous. Okay, this album here, you open it up. Now, Paul Anka is mostly famous these days for, it's an RCA Victor, mostly famous for writing, I believe, the Tonight Show theme and the song My Way. But see, he didn't write that song. What he did, because that was a French song, so somebody else wrote the song, and I guess they gave him a close approximation of the lyrics, and he wrote American lyrics that fit the music. Which I guess is writing a song, or is it not? Kind of like the Elton John, Bernie Taupin model of songwriting, where Elton writes this music and then Bernie's got these lyrics. Well, I'll tell you something about that. Mr. Bernie Taupin, Mr. Genius Lyric Writer, we know what you did, Bernie. There's a little song called We Built This City on Rock and Roll. Mean anything, Mr. Bernie Taupin? Easily one of the worst songs to ever hit number one. That and Rock and Roll Heaven. We've been there. We've been over this, haven't we? We've covered this in detail. This was going to be a short video, but I'll see about that. Aretha Franklin, Who's Zoomin' Who? This is her big comeback in the in the 80s. One of the big comebacks. It's got Freeway of Love. It's got Who's Zooming Who. It's got Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. Big hit songs. And I know she passed away recently. I think this is a picture of her father, who was a minister. And Aretha Records. Now the video, Whitney Houston's video for How Will I Know, has in that part of the video where she says, I'm asking you because you know about these things, and then there's a little image of Aretha Franklin there. Why would, other than the fact that you're both on Aretha Records at that time, I believe. I may be wrong about that entirely. But why is Whitney Houston asking Aretha Franklin when her own auntie is Dionne Warwick? Maybe you asked the wrong person. Maybe that's what happened to you, Whitney Houston. Other than marrying a crack addict. Alleged. Other record I found, the lovely Miss Linda Ronstadt, Living in the USA. Frankly, I may or may not have this one, but I know I do not have it in this great of a condition. This is a very nice condition record. An iconic photo of the leggy, beautiful Linda Ronstadt. Lyric sheet. Recorded album. Gatefold. Where's she at? Where's she? Where's Linda? Oh, there. She's right here. That's Linda. Linda Ronstadt. All I can say is I need a time machine, a bottle of tequila, and some KY jelly. Maybe some what is that? What is that stuff that Bill Cosby used? I was going to say Ritalin, but it's not Ritalin. That would be the exact opposite of what I need that night. Okay, those are my entire record album hauls for today. And I say haul, and it's so gauche. It's so inaccurate. It's just some records that you pick up. Now those were today. This is the rest of the stack from the other day. Since I've been only doing half a stack, trying to keep the time under 20 minutes. But it's not going to happen, folks. It's going to go over a little bit. When I say folks, I mean both of you. The two of you that watch my videos and enjoy. This is Bob James and Earl Klugh. And this is One-on-One. This is one of those weird ones. They say, oh, well, let me get the album. It's not here. It opens sideways. Bob James, most famous for composing the theme to the 70s television hit Taxi, which introduced the world to Andy Kaufman, introduced most of the world to Danny DeVito, and introduced young 10-year-old me to the bosoms of Mary Lou Henner. You know, she's got a brain, and she can't forget anything. In her life, her memory is so good she can't forget. How she's the exact opposite of me, who forgets everything. Also, she has talent. We both have breasts. Where am I going with this? Why am I asking you? Birds, Mr. Tambourine Man. Dylan songs. This is still in the shrink, actually. Not that that means anything, but the record could look like crap, and there it doesn't. It's alright. Again, the beautiful Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams. Blue Bayou's on here. Poor, poor, pitiful me. I will never marry. Tumbling Dice. Good album. Classic. The Exciting Wilson Pickett. That wicked, wicked Pickett. Hits like Land of a Thousand Dances. Something You Got. 6345789. You know, well, actually, I think it's all about area codes, but 634 would be a local call here. But again, you'd have to go with a 936 area code. In the Midnight Hour. Danger Zone, not Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone. I think there's some padding on here. Because you ain't got no Mustang Sally. That's for sure. Mono. Which means you're going to have to stay home from school if you play that record. You're going to have mono. This one's stereo. This is Bach on the Biggest. Hey baby, I've got a huge organ. Golden Hits by Tony Martin. I got a cousin named Tony Martin. Not the same guy. To each his own, as sand goes by. A gal in calico, body and soul. Guilty. I don't know why. Make believe, stardust, I'll see you in my dreams. That old black magic. Teeth for two, all the things that you are. Some of my favorite songs, probably in versions that I could not stand. There's literally no way to find out if it's true or not. An Era Reborn with Helen O'Connell. When they're talking about an era reborn, they're talking about the Depression years of the 30s. The Sweetest Sounds. I Can't Stop Loving You. Small World. Make Someone Happy. What Kind of Fool Am I? Witchcraft. Where Is Love? The Sound of Music. It's on Cameo Records. I don't think Larry Blackman was involved in the production of this album. She's cute, though, in this probably retouched photo. Sweethearts, Marion Marlowe and Frank Parker. And this is Harmony. And that's with Archie Blair and his orchestra. And the many other Harmony hits available. Freeze Grand Canyon Suite. Don't know. T for the Tillerman. This is Cat Stevens. Let me see here now. Where do the children play? Hard-headed woman. Wild world. Father and son. Usef Islam. Bobby Hackett with strings. All right. Ooh. Bye. Serenade in Blue. Midnight Moonlight Serenade. Autumn Serenade. Street of Dreams. Not the Rainbow Street of Dreams, because that's an awesome song. Don't know what this is. Not the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, neither. Blues. And it's Billy Eckstine, Arthur Pricesock, Sarah Vaughan, and Phil Flowers. This is Diplomat Records. It was marked 99 cents at Goodwill. Did I pay 99 cents? I don't remember. Mills Brothers, 4 of them. This is from the Longines Symphonette Living Sound Gold Medal recordings. Cab Driver and 9 other great selections. But it's not listed on here. I would definitely have to open it up and find out what mystery recordings are on here. We'll do that someday. Not today. Noro Morales and his orchestra. Mississippi Mango, For Me, My Gal, Cha-Cha. I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Cha-Cha. I'm Getting Sentimental Over You, Cha-Cha. Dark Eyes Mambo, and others. There's these incredibly beautiful women on these album covers in the 50s and 60s. All these women, dead. And if they're not dead, you don't want to know them. You don't want to get to know them now, it's too late. Or maybe you already know them. You walk under a bridge in a major city, with an old bag lady there, drinking her preferred lunch out of a paper bag. It could be this woman. Think about it, won't you? The Lenny Detour. Not Detour, but Lenny Detour. Maybe that's a play on words. Maybe we'll never know. So Lenny D, organ solos with instrumental accompaniment, like Fly Me to the Moon, Sukiyaki, Hawaiian Wedding Song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Shangri-La. Shangri-La's not a real place, is it? Calcutta, Arrivederci Roma, Granada. One of my sisters had a Granada. Lousy car. I think she liked it. But Ford ripped off Mercedes styling from the 70s. And they said, we're going to make a car that looks just like a Mercedes. And I mean, it's going to be indistinguishable, right? The only thing that really was the failing point of this thing is this car was a Ford. It wasn't a good car. The 70s, we thought we had, the U.S. automotive industry thought they had it on top of the world. Japanese were about to hand you your lunch. Enoch Light. Big brass and percussion. One of those records. In stereo. Classics 4 Spooky. Look at those guys. Now, Classics 4 developed into the Atlanta Rhythm section, I believe, with some modification. But what's on this album, the Classics 4 Spooky? Well, let me read you some of the Classics 4 tracks that you'll find on this album and this album alone. You won't find these songs on other albums because these guys were on top of things. Let's see. Daydream Believer, You are my sunshine, the letter. By the time I get to Phoenix, going out of my head. Mary, Mary, row your boat. That's side one. Side two, bus stop. Just between you and me, poor people, book a trip, spooky. Now, with the exception of the song Spooky, those songs all had one thing in common. They're not classics 4 songs. It seems like maybe they had this single, Spooky, and no album. So they recorded a bunch of other people's songs and made an album. I think that's what happened. I think we've been had, but not me, Carol Northwit. Just neighbor down Lodge Blue Jays. These dudes from the Moody Blues. It's just 2 guys from the Moody Blues, though. Was it the whole group? I don't think so. Why were they separate? Is this part of the official Moody Blues discography? There's no way to know. No way to know. This one here has some water damage. I think the album is pretty much unaffected. ABBA's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Now let me see what's on here. Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight. Knowing Me, Knowing You, Take a Chance on Me, Money, 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 Rock Me, Eagle, Angel Eyes, Dancing Queen, Does Your Mother Know, Chiquita, Summer Night City, I Wonder Departure, which is their finest song in my opinion. You can pin me to that. You can stake me to that anthill, because that's what I think. Name of the Game. Not Badfinger's Name of the Game, which is also a fine song. And Thank You for the Music. Now, I think there's talk of ABBA reuniting or maybe recording some more songs. But it has been like something like 36 or 37 years since they last performed. Now, they're at several times during the interval, they have been offered, and I'm talking literally, $1 billion to reunite. A lot of money. Turned it down. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. But, I mean, we can overcome our differences for that. Had John Lennon... had Yoko done the right thing and taken maybe one of those bullets, then John might have lived, and I guarantee you there would have been a Beatles reunion. By now, if not by like 1990, there would have been a Beatles reunion. It would have happened. But no. Led Zeppelin, even for one concert, got back together. Not John Bonham, he was busy being dead, but the rest of them, they got back together because money still spends. Checks cash. They know the right thing to do. Steely Dan, they got back together. Maybe the albums weren't so good. They were so-so. They were still Steely Dan. And even though Walter Becker now has passed away, they're still Steely Dan because Donald Fagen understands. There's money in a name. The Eagles, they understand money in a name. Half your guys are dead? That's okay. Badfinger. 3 dead members. You got a guy touring. I think Big Star. I think with one guy. What's my point? Don't have one. That's my point. Remember how this thing works? I don't. I know I did this thing, though. I aimed it at this thing, and I did this.